Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from CLASH Daytona. My name is Bob Babbitt. We are brought to you by the NASCAR Foundation, Daytona International Speedway, USA Triathlon, Aquasphere, and Varlo. Our guest, the president and CEO of CLASH Endurance, Mr. Bill Christy. How the heck you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Love being here. So glad you guys came back.
Come on now. This is our playground right here. And when we first interviewed you, we talked about how you have something so special here because you could be doing events all day long. And now you've got the pros on Friday. It's a three-ring circus. You got your sprint race sells out Saturday morning. Oh, we'll just add another one because it's not like you got to block off roads or anything. You got plenty of parking. People can race all day long. It's cool.
It's true. In fact, they're shutting down. They're shutting down the second sprint. We're over 1,000 people for the short course. The team has gone above and beyond to make that happen. And the Jingle Jog Friday night for the kids.
That'll be over 1,000.
That's over 1,000 people. We've got for the weekend, excluding that, we've over 3,300 athletes. It's busy.
Yes.
And we're excited.
Well, and from where we started with just CLASH Daytona, now CLASH Daytona, Miami, Watkins Glen, Atlanta, and all of those, it's the word endurance is really important.
It is.
Because it isn't just swim, bike, run.
It is. That's correct. And, if you look at the duathlon component here as an example, boy, did registrations go through the roof. But yeah, we really made an effort to say we love swim, bike run. It's always going to be our roots. But at the end of the day, the endurance community was asking for more.
Right.
And so our first foray was Atlanta. We'll talk about Atlanta for a minute. And that was mountain biking and trail running. And I will tell you that trail running is no easy task.
No.
So I have a huge respect for that community. We were fortunate enough to have done that on the Fox Factory test course. It's only open twice a year. And we got them to open it for us. We did that at Road Atlanta, which is, I think Jared Schumacher told me he ran a 17 5K. So, it's tough. But the ability to have mountain biking the way we did it, we learned so much. First and foremost, that group is siloed.
Right.
And I equate it to growing up and seeing snowboarders. And they didn't talk to anybody. They were their own group. They were a little ostracized.
Right.
Mountain bikers are the same. Trail runners are the same. Gravel riders are the same.
And you've got to reach them differently. You've got to find out where they live.
Yeah.
And again, because you can't just reach out to swim, bike, run people for a mountain bike event or a trail running event.
Yeah, no, it's totally different. In fact, at this point, we had to set up different registration pages
to
be able to consolidate those. They all come back to CLASHUSA.com.
Right.
But yeah, it's totally different.
And this year was 4 events.
Yep.
The year before was 2, 4. And what are the goals for 2023?
Well, we're at 6 now.
Okay.
We, as you know, we bought a half marathon, which is a very successful half marathon. We are announcing another race past that. And I'm trying to get the guys to work one more in. Sometimes I win those battles, sometimes I lose.
That's okay.
I lose more than I win, but I'm coming at them pretty hard. So it's going to be fun.
What were the learnings from, Watkins Glen was different in a lot of different ways, right? You have a wine festival. You got, thousands of people at a finish line who can't spell the word triathlon.
30,000 people.
30,000 people, and they're
crazy.
Like, who are these people in Speedos running around? But building a finish line with people there is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, it was really, and my favorite story is both the age groupers and the pros came back and said, there's a toga party going on back on turn 3. and all the people from the toga party came out and watched us and cheered us on. The energy for that race was amazing. I think the biggest thing that we did right there was that we included how to teach people about the beauty of Watkins Glen.
Right.
We threw the pro party at a vineyard, which was obviously well received. And we were lucky enough to have the townspeople and talk about Main Street USA.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got creameries, you've got wine and cheese shops, you've got all these great little stores. And nobody knows about Watkins Glen. So we had to teach people about Watkins Glen.
Well, and I think what you did so well was a TV show.
Yeah,
the TV show was more of a travelogue on what makes Watkins Glen cool, and you introduce the audience to this this location, which a lot of people probably never heard of, besides knowing that cars race there.
Yeah, Shannon Spake did a great job. I mean, we're lucky enough to have Shannon with us. She does NFL, she does NASCAR. She's a triathlete.
Yep.
And she really jumped into the meat and potatoes of the people, the family components, what they were doing besides just being triathletes, the age groupers and the age group stories. And we had some fantastic age group stories there. But yeah, it was more docuseries than it was a race. And we thought that was what was appropriate to teach people about the Glen.
The other thing that you have done so well at the venues has been introducing what was so big in NASCAR, which is people bringing their motorhomes and spending the weekend and building that camaraderie that way.
Yeah, and it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So this year the driver owner lot is sold out, and we actually had to expand to a second lot, and we're about halfway sold out on that one. Watkins Glen, that is the world. They show up, the groceries are in there, you've rented a motor coach, they hand you the keys, and that's a special event. I think we were very surprised at the energy that was created in Atlanta by people camping, having their teams on the pits.
Right.
The way we had set the race up for the relays, it was a 6-hour. You could either have a 3-person team for the mountain bike, or you could have a 6-person team. And how you managed that was strategic.
Sure.
So you're going to see more of those kind of things from us. We're excited about the next event that we're going to announce because it's a gravel component, it's a mountain biking component, it's a trail running component. If some of the folks have their way, there will be a level of relay runs besides just a half marathon that might have stuff to do with the middle of the night navigation.
Oh, there you go.
So
a little adventure racing.
In there. We're really trying to focus on learning more about endurance and going that way because we think that's a community that is underserved by a festival weekend. Example, probably one of the funnest moments I had in Atlanta was we handed out finisher medals.
Yeah.
They don't get that.
No. Off-road stuff, they don't get a lot
right.
of that.
And so, we had them on the podium, we had them with finisher medals, and I remember saying, who didn't get a finisher medal? And this mob came up and said,
who gets finisher medals?
Right.
Yeah, you all do.
Right. So we passed them out, and that was pretty special. But yeah, so camping's gotten big at all the facilities. It's growing. It's a community. We've got people here who have actually cordoned off 4 and 5 to create their own little cities.
Oh, nice.
So they can have campfires and so on and so forth. So yeah, pretty cool, huh?
It's so cool. And with the pro field that you have here, it's basically, I think every country is represented. You've got a deep pro field, both men and women. And we, over the years that we've been doing this, people couldn't spell Magnus Dietliff the first time he came here, right?
That's true.
And then he goes off the front, and they're like, who is this kid? Well, he's ranked number 3 in the world right now. And so many other athletes, Sam Long, when he came here. And I think a lot of
Paula Finley coming
back after, and Ashley Gentle, when she came here and won, and that led to her winning. She won both the U.S. Open and the Canadian Open. So this is sort of a stepping stone for a lot of these, especially young Olympic distance folks who are making their first foray into this longer distance.
Yeah, we're seeing it a bunch. The Daytona distance being halfway between an Olympic and a 70.3. The big question becomes, who's got the advantage? Well, you could argue pretty strongly that the ITU folks coming out of the water.
Yep.
But what we learned in 2020 was that they did great until they had to get into an aero position for an hour and 40 minutes, and then they cramped up in the run.
Exactly. Hip flexors,
yes. Right. So that is the great equalizer of having to stay down in aero bars, and some of these folks haven't been in aero bars but for a couple weeks. So that's the great equalizer, and then it's a slugfest.
Well, and the fact they haven't been in the aero position means you get off the bike and the run they used to have has left, right? It basically took its luggage and went somewhere else because the running legs are not in the transition area anymore. TV-wise?
We're so fortunate to have both NBC and Fox as partners. They've been with us
from the beginning.
From the beginning. And last year's viewership of this race was 1 million sustained viewers just in the United States. So from a Nielsen standpoint, we talked about that.
Yep.
St. George was bigger than most NCAA Division I college football games. So we're excited about this year. NASCAR Production is going to put the show on for us again.
They do a great job.
Do a great job. We'll be on December 31st at 4 p.m.
Nice.
I'm just guessing there's some people going to be sitting on their couch looking for things to do. So we're looking at a better Nielsen rating this year and hoping that we get that. It will be re-shown on Fox and Germany, France, Italy, Spain, UK, the Big Five. And they will actually see the cut down prior to it being shown in the States.
Nice.
Yeah, so we wanted to get those dates out to everybody and make sure that they knew when to turn on their channels, knew when to turn on their TVs. And with this international field, France, Germany, Spain, UK, it fits perfectly.
And live stream?
Live stream is going to be on Facebook.
Okay.
And obviously we don't charge for that. The commentary, I think, is really fun this year because we added Shannon to the ground.
Nice.
Yeah, so with her and we added Brett McMahon's up in the booth.
Right. Just won Ironman Wisconsin.
Just Ironman Wisconsin. Picked up more money in premiums in Miami than I think the fourth place finisher did.
Yep.
Came out of the water and already had his skin, the skin suit off.
Yep.
Who does that?
Yeah, he was ready.
So we'll have preems here. So there'll be a cycling preem, there'll be a transition preem, there'll be a swimming preem. So all those races within the races will be here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Billy, as always, thank you for being so generous with your time. Thank you for opening up the gates so we can come out here and do swim, bike, run in the most famous racetrack on the planet.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you race on Saturday.
I know, and the 7:15 was sold out, so I'm in 9:15, which means I get to sleep in a little bit. Which I'm really excited about. What's going to happen in years to come? You're going to have 7:15, 9:15, 11:15, 1:15. You're going to drive your team absolutely crazy. They'll be racing for 2 solid days.
I hope so.
I love it. Billy, thank you so much.
As always, my joy.
Again, we are at beautiful CLASH Daytona. Hold on, everybody. We will be right